and welcome back to Kapp Tech. Today we're going to look at my life in Superstardom. A near miss. I'd like to dedicate this video, since it's the 83rd in our series, to number 83 on the 85 Bears, Mr. Willie Gault. It's a video where I'm going to drop a lot of names. First attempt at fame, born looking like this guy, but it's not me, so it doesn't really count for anything. Also, I take pictures, I have to kind of confess, with bands that are taking a break and hold their guitar. Sometimes I have to buy them a beer to give me the look and feel of fame, but I can't count that either. But maybe I can count my experience at Headhunters, which I made a separate video about. Would run into people there from old rock bands, but I don't know if I'd really say famous, but kind of on that line, people like Billy Milano and, played with Anthrax briefly and such, but to call it famous, that might be a bit of a stretch. I mean, was the place on TV? Sure, it was on TV. Did Thor go there? Absolutely. Benicio del Toro? Bill Murray? Sure. Did I ever see him? No. Partied with Cheech and Chong? Can't tell you that one. Can't tell you any, details. Once stayed at the place where Jeffrey Dahmer killed all those folks on accident. I think you can count that one. I don't think you can count events that you pay to go to, like sporting events, though. Although I was once behind Ron Hughes in the rental car line, so that's kind of a brush with fame there. I grew up next to the Collies, and the guy's father was famous, but he wasn't really famous. I thought I was in with the Dungeons and Dragons people, but it turned out to be their kids, so that's kind of one step removed from the fame. Briefly had maybe 10 minutes of fame when the Chicago boating fire occurred to me back when I was a mortgage broker loaning out money high and fast, but at the same time, there was a more colorful character in that fire with me that had, shall I say, more interesting characteristics, ergo better hair, my attorney, who got more of the fame from that than I did. And then the car fire with Tom, T-Bone as you guys know him, where we caught on fire and got stuck, but ended up seeing Slaughter play at a laundromat. And I was able to make a video on famous people from my own hometown. But this is really all smoke and mirrors. It's not really interactions I've had with the famous. Closer than my old man gets, though. Not only do people think he's Steven Spielberg, he's like got the same famous thing but in reverse, but also occasionally, after a couple beers, he thinks he sees somebody, usually it's like the Bears coach, like John Fox or something, and then waits till the guy goes to pee, and then he goes and talks to him at the urinal to see if he's really the famous person or not. So at least I'm not as bad as him, I once swam at the guy that played the $6 Million Man's pool when I was a little kid, but of course he wasn't there because my uncle just knew the maintenance man of the property or something, so that doesn't really count. My mother tells me we saw the actor that played Luke Skywalker in an airport when I was young. I don't remember it. I did see LaDainian Tomlinson at an airport wearing a big diamond ring, but can't really count it, like he was just walking by in the other direction. But as far as people I've actually seen, freaking Ice Cube, and Tom was there with me and will verify. Walking down the street in Chicago with some of his toughest security with him. I've also seen Jerry Springer, but since I paid to get into the show, it's kind of like a sporting event or concert. I don't know if you can count that. Although I did see radio show host Mancow and Victoria Jackson from SNL that same day, but kind of that paid to get in thing because they were at a book fair, so I really can't count that. Have I ever done a loan from back in the mortgage days for somebody that was famous? Well, kinda, or at least their nanny, but I'm bound by law not to be able to talk about those. I can't include those in the video. You're saying, Cap, have you met any of the sitting presidents? Well, I saw Clinton speak, but there was 10,000 other people there. I did get to meet U.S. Grant, but it was years after he was dead, in the picture here with this statue. Can I count my close and personal friendship with Mr. Bobo Fett? No, I can't, because he's technically a fictitious character. Can I count the fact that I lived in the same building with the actor that played Red Foreman, or Mr. John Cusack? Could I call us neighbors? I don't know, maybe if 500 other people didn't live in the building. Anyway, we're not going to count them either. I was once at the same Southern Illinois brewery with sitting Governor Bruce Rauner and learned that I tip a higher percentage than he does. But I don't know if I can count that either. Can I count when my supermodel friend Albert kissed a certain... No, that's not right to even bring up the name. You can't count that. And you can't count anything under the Eskimo Brotherhood umbrella either. Even if you were Eskimo Brothers with, say, Ja Rule, it would be, you know, forbidden to disclose publicly, right? So moving on. My BFF Tom went to high school with James Iha, band member of the Smashing Pumpkins, and I think there was a little chemistry between their female bassist Daria and me. I think she was giving me the, the love eye, but it was kind of a Me Too moment for me. It made me feel really, uncomfortable back when I was 19 or so. So I don't know. I count it, but I can't count it. Ooh, I got a good one I just remembered. As I sit in my hotel room narrating this video in Memphis, Tennessee, I remember I was once here sitting in a dry sauna, and I didn't know it at the time, but I was sitting next to Mr. Ike Turner, who I would admit is hung like a Georgia mule, but we didn't really converse much. I was just kind of, impressed by him. So that's a brush with fame. We'll count that one. At a hotel in Chicago, ran into, or at least saw from a few feet away, Mr. Dog the Bounty Hunter. That was pretty amazing. My obsession with fame caused me to pen my own autobiography Wikipedia entry, which kept getting taken down time again by the Wikipedia censorship police or whatever. Basically, I told the story of my conception, at Acadia National Park, my father and mother in a hippie van, etc., etc. But again, that was taken down. I did go on the air in St. Louis to sell some campers once, 10 or 12 years ago. That was a little brush with fame there. Let's count that. Had a very similar experience by guest pirate radio DJing down in Austin once, but I just did a kind of a homemade commercial for my Rockstar Buddies auto shop. Didn't really launch my career the way I had envisioned. So how do your own brushes with fame, compare with mine? I'm gonna bet mine are way better and awesome, but might be a little sarcastic in that. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Gonna have my baby beg you to do it, and then my dog, if that don't work. I don't know what else to do. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. The end.